Cardano holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's waste no more time and analyze ADA, understand what's happening, and of course, and what we could be expecting going further into the week. So, as we have started off the month of July, it has started off on a really, really positive note. Of course, second half of the year, a lot of excitement, a lot of people anticipating a lot of great things, specifically, ETF approvals across the board. And on top of that, we are going to potentially see a rate cut that could actually even end up happening this month during the FOMC meeting. But market is reacting in a really positive way, as we can see across the board. ADA is up 10% right now, which of course is always exciting to see. Price is almost approaching 60 cents, up 6.1% in Bitcoin comparative, which again is quite an impressive number in Bitcoin comparative side of things, considering that the index for the dominance is literally sky high right now. Valuation $21.4 billion and the 24-hour trading volume pushing up to that $900 million mark. Before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, if you think ADA is not getting attention from the big boys, I want you guys to just see a continuous reminder of that. So you can see clearly right in front of us, Cardano has grayscale ETF. That has been filed for, and you can see there's 90% chance a spot ADA ETF gets approved by 2025. Why is this relevant? Bitcoin investors can finally buy ADA easily. More money coming into Cardano, more trust and recognition, greener charts. Cardano will melt faces, be ready. So this is according to, this Cardano, supporter. I think it's on their page. So I just kind of wanted to share, this specific chart, and they have pretty much summed it up quite nicely. Moving forward, let's not forget, remember, Cardano is a layer 1 blockchain. And we know it's a US-based, project, and I just want to continuously remind you guys, remember what happened back in March. Donald Trump came out and said this: digital assets directed by Presidential Working Group to move forward on crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, Solana, and ADA. These are mentioned. And obviously, the rumors are still flying around. They have not stopped by any means in terms of, the tax exemption potential of that happening, which of course, puts ADA in the bucket as well, most likely because of course this is a US-based project. So moving forward, taking a look at the price, if you're looking at the dominance, it's still at 65.35%. So this is why I said that, if you're looking at the Bitcoin side of things for ADA, in Bitcoin comparative, it's looking really nicely. The fact that it's up 6.1%. If you're looking at BTC, on the other hand, Bitcoin is breaking out. I'm sure if you follow my channel on a regular day-to-day basis, the confirmation that I had set for myself was around the 106,800. Literally 3 to 4 different times we have seen that level really prove to be a major resistance, because every single time the price of Bitcoin has been able to close above that range, we have seen a sharp increase, and that has happened once again for Bitcoin. We still have a long time to go until obviously the daily candle close happens today, but if the daily candle close happens here for Bitcoin, I am expecting a new all-time high for Bitcoin this week, because that pretty much is only about a 2.25% move for us to push up to that range. But now if we're coming back to ADA, on the other hand, like I said, almost 60 cents right now, we have pretty much seen a triple, retest, so a triple bottom, if you want to say, around this price point at about 50 cents. You can clearly see this for yourself 3 different times. Once was back in Feb, and look at the sharp increase back in February. That was a crazy increase. From that 50 cents, we saw ADA go up 130%. I'm sure you guys know about this because I was covering ADA around that price point. We saw one retest back in April, and the third retest just on June 22nd. So pretty much since then, if this was your buy order, and believe it or not, this was a major liquidity zone, if you had your buy orders placed in around here, you are up right now about 17.1% in about a week's time. So of course, this was a major level, a little bit of a resistance, a little bit of a bounce was going to happen regardless. And that's exactly what we saw happen the day of that retest itself. We came back above this range. So right now what you're retesting, what we're seeing ADA retest is, that 60 cents key resistance. Of course, we know the significance of that. We are about to approach that 60 cents key resistance once again. I think, we will retest it in the next few hours to come. If this is able to break out, most importantly, close above this key range of 58.8 cents, which we're actually above right now. If we're able to close above this range, I do personally believe that, ADA could actually start pushing up to the likes of, let's actually zoom out, the likes of 65 cents. I would not be surprised for ADA to retest that in the very near future, and that itself is still about a 10.59% move from where we currently are. And of course, after that, you guys know what happens. We get back into the 78.6, a level that is crucial for ADA. And then, we start heading back towards the upside. What's quite impressive still that, I want to point out is we're pretty much still close to the 78.6 fib zone, even though the dominance has been this high. I'm going to continuously remind you guys, the dominance back in December was only at 55%. So it's been a 10% increase, which is a very large increase for the dominance in such a short span of time. And that does impact altcoins, believe it or not. I personally think, I'm very confident if the price of Bitcoin had remained where it has been, which it honestly has been pretty much ranging within the 78.6 throughout the year. And then we did have that major, flash pullback back on April, which again, arguably I think was the bottom for the market for now before we start heading towards the next zone, which it has been doing. But if the dominance was still at the level of 55%, I personally think, considering where Bitcoin is currently sitting at, we would have seen, Cardano's price within the, close to the 78.6 or even the 61.8. So that's what I want you guys to keep in mind. Let me know down below what you guys think. Where do you see the price of ADA going? If you want to see more Cardano updates, what are you waiting for? Hit that red subscribe button and comment down below that, hey, you want to see those Crypto ZX ADA updates, and I'll bring you guys that on a regular day-to-day basis. The second half of the year, we're going to go crazy. So I need your support. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.